Good day, Miss. Good day, colleagues. So for my part, I'll be looking at the mason and the carpenter, and I made a big book as my model. To display my big book, this is what it looks like. And it talks about the safety measures observed by the mason and the carpenter. Now, I'll be using this model in the large group and also to integrate it into the small group. So the children, when doing their worksheet, they can look at the model and remember or use it to answer the question or to complete their activity in the small group. Okay, boys and girls, so today teacher have an exciting topic for us to explore. And I'm going to sing a song. We're going to sing a song together, and you're going to tell me what you think is our topic, or what you think we're going to be talking about for this week. Now the song goes, do you know the missing man, the missing man, the missing man? Do you know the missing man? He builds our home. Do you know the carpenter, the carpenter, the carpenter? Do you know the carpenter? He builds our home. Alright, now from that song, can anybody tell me what we might be talking about? We're talking about a builder. Can anybody tell me what we can be called the builder? What's the builder's name? The carpenter. Good job, Avina. The carpenter. And what other person? The carpenter uses wood to build a home. And I mentioned another name. Can anybody remember what that name is? Good job, Jonathan. The mason. The mason uses concrete and stones to make our home. Now, I know you guys know the two different kinds of homes because we did that last week. Some homes are made out of wood, and some homes are made out of concrete and sand and all of these things we put together to make a concrete home. Alright? Alright, so today, mainly we'll be talking about the safety measures for the carpenter and the mason man. Right? Here I have something for us to look at. Can anybody remember what this is called? We've used it before. A book, right? Good job. This is a big book, right? And what do we see on the cover of the big book? Pictures. I know. Can you just tell me one thing about the picture that you're seeing? You're seeing a carpenter? Yes. And what is the carpenter using? Tools? Can anybody name at least one tool that they're seeing? No, take a good look. Paint? Nice. The paint, the carpenter is using paintbrush to paint the walls. Alright, so we're going to go into the book. But first, what is the topic of the book? The topic of the book is safety measures for mason and carpenter. Let's say it together. Safety measures for mason and carpenter. Now, this book was written by someone and illustrated by someone, right? So we're going to find out that someone's name. Written by Alana Grimes. Written by Alana Grimes. Illustrated by Aviola Alexis. When I say written by, who's the writer? What did the writer do? Yes, the writer is the one who did all the writing, right? All the writing. And the illustrator. What does the illustrator do? The pictures. Good job, guys. You guys remember. Alright, guys. So we're going to go into the book now. Now, on the first page, what do we see? What do we see on the first page? We see a man, right? And can you tell me by what we see in the picture of what the man is using, if this is a mason man or a carpenter? Can you tell, teacher? Good job, Robin. This is a mason, right? Oh, why would you say this is a mason? You're seeing the brick? Yes, he's using blocks to set the house, right? Good job. This is what the mason would wear when he's dealing with his tools or when he's building the house. Yes, what do you have in his head? Good job. This is called a helmet. What do you think this helmet is doing? Protecting his head. Good job, guys. Now, on the other page here, look over here. What do we see? We see 3 things that the mason would wear, right? From the first page. That was the first thing. The helmet, right? So this is saying safety gears worn by the mason. The first safety gear is the helmet hat. And like we said, what do we use the helmet for? Protecting our head. Good job, guys. Now what do we have next here? The goggles, right? What do you think we do with these goggles? We put it on our face. Why? To protect what? You think the goggles is used to protect? It protects our eyes, right? Because we don't want all of that cement and sand going into our eyes. It's going to be itchy, right? And we don't want that. Alright, what do we have next here? Anybody want to say it for me? Vest? Alright, this is called the protective vest. The mason man would wear the protective vest. It helps to protect their clothes, right? And what do we have over here now? Oh, wear on your hand. What is it called? Alright, I'm going to tell you. This is called gloves. What do you call this? Gloves. We wear the gloves, or the mason man wear the gloves to protect their hands, right? You don't want to stick your hand in the sand or stick your hand in the cement, you know, just to protect your hands from turning out from whatever they're probably allergic to. They can use the gloves. They need to use the glove to protect their hands. Okay. Next, what do we see here? Boots. Nice. This is called a construction boots. What do you call it? The construction boots. They use it. Where for the boots? Do you wear boots on your hand? No. Where do we wear our boots? Yes, we wear our footwear on our feet. So this is helping to protect our feet. Good job, boys and girls. And lastly, what do we have at the bottom here? Anybody want to tell me? Nobody knows? That is okay. This is called a road cone. What do you call it? Road cone. Now sometimes when you're passing on the road, you would see this, right? This is just to show persons that, hey, be careful when you walk in here. Or not to walk here. Just walk around it. Because you never know. When you walk in, you walk into a hole. And just to protect you from that, they put the cone there to show you, hey, stop. Don't walk there. Because there might be danger there. So just walk around. Right? This is to protect the mason man. So he knows that, hey, I can't walk here. Or to protect other persons on the road that may be passing by. Alright? Now next we're going to the rules observed by the mason. Now the mason has some rules he needs to observe, right? Just to protect himself, not to cause himself harm on the job. So he needs to observe these rules. Now we're going to go through these rules together, boys and girls. Okay, boys and girls. So now we are going to go through the rules to observe, our rules observed by the mason. We're going to go through it together, right? The number 1, the first rule. Avoid all contact with unhardened masonry cement. Now, did anybody ever see anyone mixing cement and sand together? Yes, it is soft. They add water to soften it, right? Or to bring all the things together, like the cement and the sand together, right? And when it's soft, it's okay. But you don't want to put your foot in there because when it gets hard, it stays on in your skin and it could burn you and it's hard to get off, right? So the mason needs to be very careful not to step on hardened masonry cement, right? You do not want to step on that, okay? Number 2, install sturdy work surface. He needs to be careful when he's stepping. Now, let's say he is walking across to get to another part or section of the home. You don't want him to walk on a little thin piece of wood. He could fall through and hurt himself. So you need to be very careful to make sure when he's stepping on sturdy stuff that where he can't fall through or fall off, because he would hurt himself. And the mason doesn't want that, right? And we don't want that for the mason either, okay, boys and girls? Now the final rule, number 3. Wash hands thoroughly at the end of every work shift. Now, boys and girls, we know how important it is to wash our hands, don't we? Yes, to get all the germs off. Well, for the mason, it's to get all of that germs off too, right? You don't want to go put his hand by his mouth and all of that, right? We don't want that germs. Nor does the mason want that germs in his mouth either, right? And when he gets home, he's touching everything, all the germs is spreading. So he needs to make sure that he washes his hands thoroughly at the end of his working day. Good job, boys and girls. Now, we move on to who do we think this is? A man, right? Now, what kind of man is this? This is we just talked about the mason man. What do you think we're talking about now here? The carpenter. Good job, Amira. This is the carpenter. Now, why would you say this is the carpenter? You see the wood? Yes, the carpenter has wood in his hand. And we all know the carpenter is the one who builds with the wood. Nice. Good job. Good job, Avina. Nice. Yes, this carpenter also wears helmets. I love that you saw that. The vest too. Now, what do we call this vest? The protective vest. Nice job, Robin. All right. Now here we have the safety gears worn by the carpenter. Good job. So here we have 3 gears, and let's go through. The first one is the helmet. You guys remember the name. Helmet, hat. This is called the helmet hat. And it is worn also by the carpenter to protect their head. Good job. Now what is this? Goggles. Yes, you guys remember the mason wears this also. The carpenter wears the goggles to protect his eyes. Lovely, guys. Next, what do we have here? What is this called? Gloves. You guys remember. Good job, Tashana. This is called the gloves, right? The gloves is worn on the hands to protect the hands. Next, we have the boots. What kind of boots is this? What do we call it? Good job. This is called the construction boots. What do we call it? The construction boots. Lovely. And we wear the boots on our feet to protect our lovely. Now lastly, we have here the cone. Something comes before the word cone. Road cone. Good job, Satish. This is called the road cone, and we use it to protect. We protect the carpenter and the mason. And who else? Everybody, yes, that is walking by. so they know to walk around, and maybe there is danger not to walk in between it so that they won't be harmed, right? So when we see the road cone on the road, should we move it? No, it is dangerous to move it because all the person passing by may not know that here there's danger here, and you might cause that person to fall into something or to mash something that is not right. Okay? So you never move it. Now we have rules observed by the carpenter. Rules observed by the carpenter. Let's look at number 1. The first rule. Inspect all equipment before using. Let's do that again. Inspect all equipment before using. It is very important to inspect the things, the tools that we're going to use before using it. Now, when teacher says it's time to write, you would go and get your pencil. And you just grab any pencil and write your seat? No. What do? We look to see if it has a point, right? And if it doesn't have a point, we sharpen it. Exactly. It's the same thing for the carpenter. If the carpenter realizes his hammer is not much in, or it's not sharp or whatever, inspect all equipment before using. It is very important for the carpenter to inspect his tools before using it. Now, when teacher says it's time to write, what are we going to get? The pencil. Good job. Now, do we just grab any pencil? What do we look for? If it has a point. Nice. Now, if it doesn't have a point, what do? We sharpen it. Good. It is the same thing for the carpenter. Now, if he realizes his saw that he used to cut the wood is not sharp, or the handle has been broken, do you think the carpenter is going to use a saw? No. He's going to replace it or fix it. So it's very important because you don't want him to cut his hand with that saw when he's cutting because he didn't check. Right? Good job. Let's look at the second rule. Keep all equipment in good repair. We should always keep our equipment clean and tidy. Make sure that it's working effectively. This is very important for the carpenter to do. Right? He check his equipment, make sure that saw is working perfectly fine before he uses it. Now, the day before when he finishes using it and he realizes, now what? Today, the saw break. What do you think the carpenter should do? He should repair it before the next day comes around, right? So he will have something to use when he comes back to work. So he should always keep it in good condition so that it will avoid accidents in the workplace. Alright, boys and girls, let's look at number 3, which is the third rule. Keep work area in a clean and safe condition. Let's read that one more time. Keep work area in a clean and safe condition. We should always do that. We even do that in school, don't we? Yes, we do. We do that in school. When you finish eating or so, what do? You pack up neatly, and then what? You make sure your table is clean and clear. Also, do you look on the floor? Yes, just in case you made a paper fall down or you made a biscuit fall down, you pick it up and you throw it in the garbage. Put it in the garbage. Just to keep your environment clean and unclustered. You know, you feel nice to know that your environment is clean, don't we? Yes, when you finish doing your writing and you sharpen your pencils and all of that, do we keep all of that on our table? No, exactly. We put back our pencil when we're through. We put all the shaving dust in the bin. Just keep our environment clean and safe for us. And the carpenter does that as well. He needs to keep his environment clean and tidy. He's going to have pencils there that he will use it to mark. You will have all his goggles on the ground, the saw and all these things. You know, he can trip and fall on these things as well. And we do not want that. right? So the mason man is to keep his environment clean and tidy. Now that has brought us to the end of our book. And what did we learn about the mason and the carpenter? Because anyway, it's only two things or two gears, safety gears that the mason wears. Helmet, yes, remember that. Good job. You wear the helmet and the boots. Good job. The construction boots. And what does the carpenter wear? Helmet too. Good job. Goggles. Yes, those things help to protect the mason and the carpenter. Right? Good job, boys and girls. Okay, boys and girls. So now teacher has some fun activities for us to do. So I'm going to bring around the worksheets and we're going to complete the activity using our big book, right? Just to give us a reminder of what or how to complete our activity. So I'm going to set the big book by our table or in your group so you'll be able to use it to complete your activity. Do we understand? Alright, so let's go back to our groups quietly. Okay, boys and girls, now that we have our activity, what is the first thing we are going to do? We are going to draw and color the mason. Here I have your pencil. So the first thing you do is going to write your name and then you're going to draw and color the mason. Now I have the big book in front of you where you can see the mason. Now if you like, you can turn to the other page so we can see what to ensure that our mason have on. The mason needs to have his helmet, his glove, his protective vest, his construction boots, and we want to draw the road cone at the side to show that here the mason did put it up. Right, so go ahead and take your time and draw the mason. Ensure that you have all of the safety gears on and make sure you look nice too, right? Okay, boys and girls, so go ahead. So using our model or the big book, what did we learn about? The mason and the carpenter. So let's sing our song so that we remember, okay? Do you know the mason man, the mason man, the mason man? Do you know the mason man? He builds our home. Now let's sing about the carpenter. Do you know the carpenter, the carpenter, the carpenter? Do you know the carpenter? He helps to build our home. So the mason and carpenter are two persons or two groups of people that builds our home using different equipments or different ways of having it done. In terms of the mason man would use sand and cement. Yes. Now what would the carpenter use? Wood and nails and all these different things the carpenter would use. Right? So that's the difference between the two.